Yeah.
If it's not a Kyle rule, you know.
You're on, Tim? What do you?
How they call it?
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 o'clock. And I'll call this meeting to order of the Waupaca Law Enforcement Committee. It is September 12th, 2023. This meeting and all other meetings of this committee are open to the public. Proper notice has been noted and given to the media in accordance with Wisconsin statutes, so that the citizenry may be aware of the time, place, and agenda of this meeting. Roll call has everyone here, but Mr. Johnson is excused, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So we obviously have a quorum. Need to look at and approve the agenda for today's meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Earl made the motion. Is there a second?
Seconds.
Buck is second that. Motion made and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any contrary? So moved. We have the minutes of the previous meeting. Any additions or corrections?
Kevin moves for approval of the previous meeting minutes.
Is there a second to that?
30 seconds.
Which one would you like to have second?
I wrote Hardy.
Alrighty. Motion made and seconded to approve the previous meeting minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any contrary? So moved. Public comment. Cindy, would you like to introduce your guest today?
This is my father, Albert Hardy.
Good morning, Albert.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other people for the public? Do not see any. I guess we'll move on. Review of the bills, please.
Question, we paid for the deer twice this month. That's just,
It's just back. They sent them at the same time.
okay, all right. Twice, sure.
Oh, I double packed.
Yep. So I don't know if that's the only reason you want to use, but my brother-in-law releases the loggers will appreciate you using more paper. Tell them to send you a thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
Any questions, any comments at all?
I do have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Kevin.
On page 7, 10701 is thank the auto body for $6,656. 2021 Chevy Tahoe. I don't know about it.
That was, we paid that one by mistake. That needs to be paid by our insurance company. That was a car crash. We hit a deer.
Oh, okay.
So that came out of our budget when it should come from the insurance company. I've talked to Christie over at county clerk, and as soon as we get the check from the insurance company, they'll put it back into the account.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Commissioner Kevin.
Yeah, we caught that this morning.
Any other comments, questions? Carl, do you have anything at all that jumped up today? Anything unusual? Are we staying pretty good for the budget?
Yeah, the budget to actual, we're at 63% capacity at this time. So we're in a good, well, we want to be, we're not behind. So, when I say, capacity, we still have capital projects and squad cars, and I can bring that up at my segment, but with them are the things that are added into that budget to actual or capacity. And once them are cleared, I'm sure, you know, that gets chipped away to the end. Terrible, but still in a good spot right now.
Any supervisors have any comments or questions?
Just one more question on the telephone card expenses,
Paid.
page 9, $14,000. I assume that just the prisoner reimburses for all that $14,000. You sell them the card, is that?
You're correct. You understand it, yes.
Yeah, yeah. But it seems to be an astronomical amount of money that they pay. Evidently, it's higher than my phone bill at home, but they spend that much money in the jail to call out, or how long are these cards or what?
That's a 1 month.
Just 1 month. Wow. Wow. Okay, no, I just see that. I just, man, that's a lot of money to call my wife to say I love her and, when you're giving them free room and board, I mean.
I'm doing a recording of it now.
No, I seen that number and I thought, that's a lot of money.
That's about 200 people though doing it.
Well, no, but yeah. Okay, yeah. My curiosity.
Can you explain that a little further?
Basically, Jason cuts the county, you cut a check each
Yeah.
month
From the payables.
for the payables to offset the cost of
Yeah,
the cards.
yeah.
And then, was it 21 cents a minute?
Yeah, it's about there.
21 cents a minute for each phone call that goes outside.
That all goes into the account and that's where I draw the money out to the treasurer and then they deposit it.
Yeah.
There you go. And your
Not
comments,
us, it's
questions?
not us paying.
No.
Comments, questions? Entertain a motion that we have reviewed the bills.
Make that motion.
Cindy made the motion to review. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Motion made and seconded that we reviewed the bills. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any contrary, so moved. There, we have, all right.
Anyone doesn't know it. I can give you my- if there's a way, but that's- And it would have been Bob Fleece's granddaughter.
Over here.
You're welcome. Get me later. Okay, Nick,
What?
are you ready?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Ready?
There you go.
Nick, repeat after me. I, Nick Traeger. Do solemnly swear that I will support and comply with the Constitution of the United States of America. Solemnly swear to support. I will support. And comply with the Constitution of the United States of America. Constitution and laws of the state of Wisconsin. The charter laws. And ordinances of County of Waupaca. The rules and regulations of Waupaca County Sheriff's Office. And the law enforcement code of ethics. And that I will faithfully discharge. The duties of my office as detective captain to the best of my abilities.
Duties of this office as detective.
Best of my ability. Congratulations. We'll wrap this up all in one. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Congratulations. We'll sign this later, Nick.
Yeah.
Okay, Stephanie. Here. And Dave. Bryce, your last. Okay. Oh, raise your right hands, repeat after me. You say, Stephanie, you say. I, Dave Rogers and Stephanie Patterson. You solemnly swear. That I will support and comply with the Constitution of the United States of America. Okay, that's a lot. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear.
I will support and comply with the Constitution of the United States of America, Constitution and laws of the state of Wisconsin, the charter laws and ordinance of County of Waupaca, the rules and regulations of the Waupaca County Sheriff's Office, and the law enforcement code of ethics, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as Detective Sergeant. My ability.
The duties of
My
my
office.
office of detective sergeant to the best of my
Congratulations. Congratulations. Bryce, I'm really gonna shorten it up for you.
Want one picture?
Yeah, good, good. Make me look small.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get Bryce. You want one with Amanda too?
No.
I want one with Amanda.
To the left.
Forceful on that too.
Amanda, come up.
Yeah.
Gonna save you right
Here.
Thank you. Thanks
I
so
want to
much.
see that on your Facebook. All right. All right, Bryce. You ready? Sure. Tell me when we're even.
Or step in just a little bit. There you go.
Hey, Bryce, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Bryce Chess. Hush. You solemnly swear that I will support and comply with the Constitution of the United States of America, Constitution and laws of the state of Wisconsin.
Constitution and laws of the state of Wisconsin,
Good job. The charter laws and ordinances
the charter laws and ordinances
of the County of Waupaca,
of the county of Waupaca,
the rules and regulations of the Waupaca County Sheriff's Office, and the law enforcement code of ethics,
and the laws of ethics,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as patrol deputy to the best of my abilities.
as patrol deputy to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. Now, picture. Picture it, and you gotta say. Do I make them look, do I look, make them look big? Congratulations. See, I shortened it up for you. Thank you. Bryce, you working today?
No.
Leave right.
Grab a
Thanks for
donut.
coming in. Grab a donut.
Thank you.
You gotta leave about 25 though, but. go ahead, grab it.
Oh, Todd, I want a picture with you.
Me and you? Oh, and Bryce.
Right.
Or-
Another photo.
Bring the donut way.
Take the donut.
I feel like you're handing it to Todd.
Job's only official if he's got a donut in his hand.
Oh, that's good. It's hard to look from over there. I'll solve that problem.
You guys want to do the table study?
Yeah.
By that face.
Yeah.
They keep it surprised a little bit.
Makes sense.
Overstate.
Thank you, Chair. Also. How are we doing staff wise? Are we pretty good?
Control staff is full. The sheriff coming out Tuesday. Corrections officers were what, 4 short? 4. They dispatched 3 or 4.
Doing pretty well, considering.
We
How
are.
hard it is to find people.
But
Good looking crowd.
if we haven't, we didn't get the 2 sheriff officers up here, if you've been swimming in,
A little tight.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the communication center. Please, if you can give a report.
We see by the numbers, things are starting to slow down a little bit from the busy summer. And one calls have come down, they're still a little higher than they would have been a year ago. But we're starting to see more false crash detection calls. We're getting reports from electronic devices or vehicles saying there's a crash, and then we get there. We're seeing a little trend of that. The other thing that you're gonna see is in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna start doing a campaign to try to get people to sign up for Tool Red, which is our emergency alert system. And towards the end of the month, we're gonna do an all call, which will call everybody's phone county to try to clean up our database, which will get rid of numbers that are not being used anymore. Right? Things like that. So yeah.
Any comments, questions from supervisor? Otherwise, we'll place that on file. Thank you very much. Corrections Division.
As the sheriff explained, we're 4 short currently. We had some interviews, we had some actually good candidates in there. Those 4 positions are still females. In the background on a female, looking at another one, but we're also moving forward with a male and looked at a couple more. I mean, as much as we need females, we gotta also fill some spots and see what plays out, I guess. As for things that happened in the jail, we had an inmate, probably 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago.
About 3.
Collapsed in the bathroom. Staff responded. I mean, they did CPR on the individual. Paramedics came and they shocked them 5-6 times. Paramedics put the, what's it called, the squeezer? Whatever.
It's a Lucas.
Yeah, they put that on him. I mean, he left here alive. At the hospital, they ended up transporting him to Appleton. And basically by the efforts of the officers, they were able to buy him some time where his family members could meet with him, talk with him. But ultimately, I think a day or 2 later, he passed away. He never left the hospital. So, but it was pretty amazing walking up there and just seeing how well-oiled machine. I mean, all the training has paid off and how well they responded to that. It was pretty neat to see. I think Sheriff came up there and Earl came up there. So very proud of the training that they do and the effort that they put forth.
For their family to, say goodbye was very nice.
Correct.
It was
Yep.
great.
I guess one other thing to talk about, and I guess it's technically next month, but they're plumbing, water. Is you want to elaborate a little bit on your end and then I can do my end of it? So there was some cast iron pipes in the basement that I think my understanding was they were cracking on the top side, so gas would get out. And it's in the same room that the air system for the comm center is pulled from. So every I don't know, a couple days, sometimes every couple weeks, we would get sewage gas smell in the comm center. Then maintenance would have to patch it. So, Ron contracted with a plumbing company and they fixed it, but it did it on an overnight. So basically all the water was shut off to the building for a night shift.
And they kind of got sprung on us pretty quick that they were able to do it. So we had to bring porta potties into the Sallie port. You know, they couldn't flush the toilets and we had extra water laying around. We went bought more water. I think we had 1,000 bottles of water. So every inmate had to be escorted down to Sallie port or the bathroom at the courthouse. We also bought some chips and little Debbie's for them just for the inconvenience and the. Made the inmates see a different side of us too. They're willing to work with us, we're willing to work with them. So it was a good effort on everyone's part that was able to work out. And I think they had it fixed by 3 in the morning, 3, 4 in the morning, because otherwise you possibly had to do a second. So something not ordinary, but officers did great, inmates did great. And fixed the problem and no more
Sewage smell in the comm center.
Right. Very good.
Awesome.
Any other comments or questions by supervisors? Otherwise, we'll move on and place the report on file for you. Detective Division.
Month of August, we had 7 search warrants that were completed. One of the major cases was a drug overdose death, which resulted in the arrest of 2 individuals in the Appleton area. So a lot of hard work done on that case by the detectives and working with outside agencies as well, going down to Appleton, the Fox Valley area. Getting 2 more people in custody. So they will be going through the court process now with charges of 1st degree reckless homicide for delivery of drugs. We also have 4 new detectives this year, and I talked to Carl a little bit, but this fall is when a lot of the trainings really start. So the new detectives will be going to a lot of trainings just to kind of get educated and brought up to the level that they need to be at. So this month and next month, we're pretty busy with that.
Comments or questions by supervisors? If not, we'll place on file, and I think you're at full staff now.
We are at full staff.
Super. Good feeling. Patrol Division.
August 2023, 18 reportable crashes, 0 fatalities. 26 vehicles involved with 9 people hurt. And 2 crashes out of those 18 involved impairment. Numbers are quite a bit lower than last August, a year ago. Reportable crashes a year to date, 246 compared to 254. And of course, the big number that's not there is 0 fatalities for 2023 compared to 3 in 2022 at this point. Traffic arrests 361, 3,178 year to date compared to 2,993 this time last year. 17 OWIs or drunk driving arrests for a year to date total 198 compared to 113 last year. K9 involvements 13, 178 year to date compared to 131 a year ago. There was a SWAT call out in the city of Waupaca where there's a report in the comm center of 1 or 2 people shot in a building. In the city, SWAT team arrived, did a hasty entrance and found 1 victim, but there was no gunshots involved. It was more of a overdose or intoxication. So there was a person that needed medical attention, but somehow it got changed in the call that there was a shooting. So that's a good thing. We did use the drone. Somebody did flee the house prior to officers' arrival, or he got out when officers got there. And we did put the drone up to try to locate that person. He was located a short time later. And we touched on it a little bit. We do have 3 new deputies that are in training. We have brought up Jesse Minahan's name before, Rasmussen, them are the 2 from Sheriff County, and Wade Ernstmeyer, essentially just started training. He was with us, Water Patrol this summer. So he did water patrol through Labor Day weekend, and then the next day he started training full-time for us. And he was going to school at Stevens Point, a football player on their team, and I think he kind of put all that on hold to come work for us. That's all I have.
How did we do this year for water patrol? Did you have enough officers?
Yeah, Dan Lewinsky, Sergeant Lewinsky, and he's real happy how we handled it. He went and got, what, 3 people from Stevens Point that are going for like DNR. They're in college for DNR, or conservation, and they work very well. Wade being one of them. But each year, unless something changes, it could be 3 new people every year, 4 new people every year. Takes a little bit of training then, a little bit of getting to know everything, but that's where we're at.
A lot revolves on the DNR warden hiring processes also. They only pull 1 a year. They don't time for no one that occurs though, so when actually, we might see a couple guys for 2 years in a row, and then they get hired by wardens or vice versa. So it all depends on a couple of little factors for that.
Any comments, questions at all?
Just quickly on that SWAT call, I got to go into the dispatch center towards the end of that call, and the dispatchers really did a nice job with all the chaos. So I think they deserve a shout out as well.
We'll place it on file and thank you very much. Records division.
Nothing too exciting here. We did make quite a good, amount of money for K9. That was the deposit from the golf voting. $1,577.07. Also, we had some good donations for the dive team for $5,900, and the shop with the cop, we had $545 donated.
Comments, questions, by supervisors? Hearing none. Thank you, Kim. We'll put that on file. Chief Deputy report. Carl, you're up.
I don't have much, I'm reserving my time for the budget, but carpet project is starting next week, Monday. I said it's a good time for fall cleaning for everybody for this building and everything, so get everything that's on the floor. And we also had a dive meeting last week, and it was to explore. Nothing is I believe we had a representative of Sheboygan exploring and inviting the concept of having fire departments link up with our dive team. But you know, when I was listening to the language, everybody was saying it's sort of like our SWAT team. We have, I don't know how many members on the SWAT team. But when you have a situation, could be on a holiday, it could be on a weekend, it could be this. You need this group to have this group. You know, you need all the personnel. So we're just exploring that, and I just wanted to bring up such in regards to that. What I also learned, it's hard to find divers. We're down to 1s and 2s on certain departments and fire departments. So that's what we have, but we got a pretty good group now because with the line tenders and the actual divers, we got at least a good start as far as the department, but we're looking at the other concept also with fire. That's all I have for that.
Comments, questions?
Do they coordinate with the fire departments? Being an old fireman, you know, so they kind of know how to work with each other and who's gonna do what and such.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out, your memorandums of understanding and how it would work. But yes, we have a situation where fire and rescue comes out. Yeah, we work great with them. They work great with us too. So.
Good.
Great. Sheriff, you have something you want to bring up?
Sure, I'd like to say the first thing was we lost Nova, our black lab, so we had a memorial service
Fantastic.
last week. You know, Fortunately, she died, I don't know. If you He did operate, so it will be, they tried. Obviously, it was no, so. We ended up putting her down and she would live more.
What was wrong with her?
She had tumor, over bleeding tumor.
Was this a kind of a sudden thing or?
From what I understand.
Yeah,
it was-
very, very sudden. So basically the handler came inside and found, not, I want to say not responsive, but just not acting normal. So I got the phone call, so I like to take her to the vet. And it was the tumor on the spleen that was bleeding, which was causing internal bleeding, which was causing the drugginess. And then when they got in there to operate, they found that there was more than one tumor. And it was unfortunate.
Oh, she.
Six,
Seven or-
we had her for 6 years. Oh,
She was 7 or 8.
You looking for another dog then, or? Are you content with the two?
We will be looking for a new dog. Now we're just gonna. Partner, pardon. It takes a while. to get over that.
Yes.
Like family.
Yeah.
It's in the relaxed mode right now. We'll visit it probably in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll certainly get another dog. You have to, of course, find out if Graham wants to get a handler, yes. We have a checks here. We have Waupaca Nelson's. Canine. We have modern flooring over in, she's actually in over Union County. We had a garage fry. And in that garage fry, she sold dogs for us. Stuffed puppies, so we got 1,050. Put the garage fry on. Well. JAS Petro. Back here gave us $386 to shop at the top. Other 159. That's it for checks. You did have a golf outing at Structure Club for the dive team this weekend, last weekend. Not sure exactly what the amount is, but we'll have that next month. And October 14th is a kind of a fest over in King, raising funds for the dive team. So, over there, Nate will be cooking. That's all I really have.
Any comments, questions for Sheriff? Now we go into the on file and we go into the sheriff budget.
I'm gonna try to make it as exciting as I can as the budget is and try to hit on the high points. In all the years. In that many years I've been doing the budget, I can't really say it's budget neutral. But there's a lot of zeros on that right-hand side. Does everybody has, I believe, the same copy as I have, and that's why I'm gonna try to hit the highlights. Basically on that first page, last done here. Your revenues, you can see from the 2,582,000 and the 2,493 revenues being down, projected to be down. Which affects your budget with the revenue part. And as far as law enforcement or public service, try to do our best, but some of the numbers and your expenditure grand total, you can see in 2023, the adopted budget on the left side with 14,892,103, and then you look in the 2024 proposed 15,605,578, which is an increase of the 5%. And the next line is your grand revenue plus minus on your revenues. So your proposed budget at the end is 13,122,139. Which is the change of $802,114. The thing with a raw budget that I got, what I seen right off the get-go was a 5% raise for staff or non-rep. Our non-represented employees, and the represented employees, which would be the detective sergeant, patrol officers, transferred off, they're under the collective bargaining agreement. And I'm sure down the road they will see the increase, but it held at 5% as far as this. What happens in finance, that is to be seen. But what I'm presenting you is that it was over 500,000 in extra money on the finance department for that. That's added into this increase at the 800,000. So if we progress through this, some of the highlights, the first part is the revenue parts. When you're looking over on that right side, you see the zeros. That's the budget neutral side. When you see the differences, that's where increases and decreases happen. But if you look at 3 of 17, you'll notice when we're talking reimbursements or revenue, we get them in percentages. When you're talking, your state water patrol, snowmobile patrol, UTV patrol, we do get money, but it's kind of, that's the thing in the years I've been doing this, where you sit and wait, and sometimes you wait till February, March or something. That's why Heidi leaves the budget open for that period of time. If you look on 4 of 17, and if you want me to slow down, I can slow down if you're trying to look up something. When you were asking, and we always get asked in the middle of the page, the estimations of the revenue we gained from Portage County, Wood County, and such, it's at 1,626,950,000 is the revenue. Go ahead.
I'll look up a little bit there, there's further telephone booths. That's the one that offsets. the other.
Okay, no, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So them are the numbers that were given, that she recorded, that Heidi records, and that's part of our proposed budget. Next page is all zeros. When we get to salaries on 6 of 17 up on top. That is, if you're looking at the 2023, the present one, 3,042,000. This is for sheriff administration patrol, or for our whole administration side of it. That is where I see the 5% increase, 484,600 or 100. We also, and it is up to date, and it looks like, I'm not going to dwell on it. It looks like our proposal for a new position in ISIT has been removed from this. I see it was in there. It was 80, I think it was 84,000, but that has been removed, and we'll try again next time. For that, I was given that information from Heidi. And some of these items in here, it was in these meetings that it was already proposed, so the changes had to be reflected in this budget. You can see I know these are small ones, but contracted year pickup has already, it was at 6,000, now it's at the 7,200 on that same page, so a $1,200 increase. Cellular phones, the trajectory, when you see cellular phone above telephone, the trajectory was going down. So I proposed And I think we're still ahead of the game on this. I proposed $5,000 cut. For that, but we're coming in under, and I think it's because of better billing. You know, watching what we're doing, because 30 years. I was wondering why it was going so high, but I think we have that under control. And I think we can live within that number. Also, it was in this committee also, on the bottom of the page, the repair, maintenance, service contract, software maintenance. We should have a saving, because when we did that 3-year contract, that 3-year contract was built to go down. So in the 89,550, we're found it in even 86,000, $3,550 on that. Next page, page 7. Friend of this county that we're going paperless, so photocopying is also going down. So from the 20,000 brought down to 18,000, which is a $2,000 drop. Training is going up, and if I could go higher, I would have went higher. We held at 40,000 for a few years. I brought it up 1,000 more as far as the training. So that's a plus of 1,000. And down at the bottom of the page, operating supplies, ICAC computer supplies, we held, I believe, for the past 2 or 3 years at the 12,000, which was a major cut to 18,000. I brought it back up. We have a very capable ICAC person now. And I always say one's needs and critical. There's some issues in there, and I said we have to bring this up if we can. So it was a $2,000 increase. And we may need another unit. I'm also going to contact ISIT, our computer, to see if we have any infrastructure issue with the speed of the speed of how we're downloading the criminal information on that, or what goes in our computers. So that's why it was up, but not up to where it was probably 3 years ago. And that was mainly an average computer in there. I found out is anywhere from 12,000 to 18,000. I think that's where it held at that 18,000 for them years, but we were pretty flush with a decent equipment, and now we have a very knowledgeable person in there, and I think that's what's needed to keep up with all the technologies. Let's see. Next page, page 8 of 17. Also requested an increase in firearm supplies from the 9,000 to 10,000, $1,000 increase. Now, it's like everything, it's very hard to find our ammo, and when you do find ammo, you have to have the money to pay for it. So I requested an increase in that. The other thing, with all the new officers, yes, and I don't know if you're aware of it, they do get I don't think it's a stipend, I think it's part of our what attracts officers here. They do get a clothing allowance on hiring and maintenance every year. They get the $600, correct? But we also have new employees and uniforms and or for them, I know it's prorated and such, but for special uniforms, honor guard and such, we do have to take that out of that account. So I requested uniform allowance to go from the 25,710 to the 28, which is a $2,400 increase. And here's the big ones. Fuel. Fuel, there's another estimation trajectory guess. And I think it's a good guess. We always go by the numbers we have and the numbers that we are seeing. And we get it, even our WEX, the company that we retain our fuel bills, helps us out also. So 272,095 to 285,700, which would be a $13,605 increase. It's tough number to nail down, but I think it's very close to being what I was seeing. And we can work them numbers, and that's what we come up with. What I spotted yesterday going through this again, and I went through it, down in the general liability insurance, that's another thing that's controlled by finance department. I see there's an increase of $5,000 general liability insurance. That's a sign of the times. All insurances are going up. But it's interesting, when you read through some of these numbers. The next page has our capital supplies that are still on here. Page 9 of 17, batteries, portable radios, and then the floor projects. And we also, I believe, was it the last meeting we talked about the new MLS, new duty weapons for us, and that is all in this budget for the capital of $73,055. If you have any questions about the importance of it, this is a long time coming. This goes clear back to when Leighton was here. We wanted that project way back then, but the epoxy is going to help clean up that floor. The Evans garage really needs it. When we have a viewing or anything for the jury, I think it'll be better to clean, and it's eating up that cement of the salt and everything. We kind of restrict the cars going in there, but the Sally Port just gets beat. I mean, with everything that comes through there. So I'm glad it's still hanging in there where it is right now. I was kind of questioning, the sheriff was kind of questioning how we were losing money out of one account into another account. But if you look in this reduction due to moving 4 patrol officers to transport officers. So we finally got the mystery solved, that why is clothing allowance and all this other stuff, but it actually got just moved to the patrol account or the sheriff's account. So I just highlighted that just so if somebody was doing the math, they could figure that one out. And with that 5%, you also see salaries and wages and corrections on that same page. That was reduced because of them 4 officers switching to the other salary, 5% going to the sheriff's okay. Another big one, page 10, contracted service prisoner medical contract. This came from this committee also when we had the harsh language. We had a little bit of a breach and we had to redo the contract. You'll see on there, the adopted budget from last year was $861,850. With our math, the way it comes out, 1,026,074. Yeah, that's $164,000 plus increase to that. But we did see a reduction. Me and Adam looked through this billing on the next line, the contract prisoner board billing. That has been trending down. And we looked at the 6 month, you'll see that 2023 6 month. And we looked at the trajectory on the finance schedules. And we agreed that could be reduced. The board bills be reduced by $27,544. So that is why there's a reduction in that one. And then at the bottom, there, at the bottom, when you see that uniform allowance, that's what I was getting. That got switched, so we were wondering why there was a reduction. That's because of the four transport officers going on another account. Let it be said also, well, I'm at that point when you talk medical service, mental health services. Speaking on my behalf, somebody down the road, if we could get somehow new Department of Human Services and such somehow as being a whole county entity, somehow get enough staff and look at being an in-house mental health instead of contracting out. It is a high cost, and it's always been a high cost, but it'd be nice. And I realize, and I already talked upstairs, it's hard enough to find behavioral health specialists just for that, let alone for us, but it's a high expense, and I've seen it the whole time I've been as chief deputy, and it'd be nice to have an in-house entity of the county work together on that part down the road.
You have any idea what cost is?
Ballpark,
100,000.
100,000 at least.
For just mental health and ODA service?
And AODA, I was surprised, and I don't want to jump on anybody's issues, but I was surprised we didn't have an in-house AODA until we were talking to, we were looking at the opioid relief money. I thought we had that in place for. It was Ron helped just
We did the OWI. That's
OWI assistance. I thought it was that part, not the other.
Yeah.
So I go back a long way, so that's.
You're going back a little way.
Yeah.
The human services, if I remember correctly, we have added an additional AODA counselor. In addition to what we currently have. There'd be two AODA counselors. They're gonna be fully qualified for all the services, so we don't have to contract some of our supervisory services. Because they hired with the-
Okay, going on to the next page is. You're looking at, you're seeing zeros on the right hand side, county water patrol, pretty much budget those low, your snowmobile patrol, UTV. Them you can go through, and like I said, a lot of them are at the mercy of what we get as far as funding and what we provide them services, which is really good. And that's, if you find something, I go to 911 regular. And that would be on page 14 of 17. You can see the increase in wages on top, and that's it. I believe it's from that 5%. But down at the bottom, in the training, I requested a $3,000 increase. And we had it at 5,000. It's been at 5,000 for a very long time. And I appreciate the sheriff and the captain of communications division that training has increased, and it will increase for that entity as far as communication specialists and dispatchers and staff. So that's why I requested that increase, and it was long overdue. That's all I have on that page. On 15 of 17, bottom of the page. Squad car. We could talk for an hour on squad cars as of late. But the 5-year plan, and you'll see on 23 adopted, $575,095 dollars, and that was for our 9 units or 8.5 units, whatever we usually have per year. We went down spoke with Heidi. One, we can't find cars. Two, cars now are going progressively higher. The 5% does not cover the cars. And went back and forth and we came up with a number. And the number for the 9 units, $80,000 per unit. Now that ain't the car, that's GenCom or whatever service we use to flip them cars, that's a total. So you're talking the total to have the money available for them squads at that'll be a new capital sheet, I would imagine, and for 2024 it'll be 720,000 for the cars, which is the increase of 144,005. If anybody wants to expand on squad cars, we were talking about it all yesterday, and hard to find, hard to come by, and what are you gonna get, and state bids, and
Price increases.
yeah,
I mean, it's, the dealers are now releasing price increases after we sometimes have to purchase vehicles, and we're at the whim of the automakers.
And not only that, the allocation, they are limiting how many cars you can buy. Take the demand so high. And now if we have this impending strike, that's on. Take all the factors, and you can't even order squads till late September. And we don't know how long that window's open. And the allocation is the main thing. So we might have to start looking elsewhere. For admin, maybe just buy cars off the lot. Maybe, you know, that ballpark. The admin doesn't need a. Everybody gets that district for sheriff's men, we're all struggling. Besides the help, we're struggling with squads. Too short last year.
and on the state bid form, it really hasn't updated. I mean, state bid.
So I did get updated pricing for the Ford Interceptor models. I think it's probably what we're gonna see with the Chevys is they went up $11,000 per car. So Ford Interceptors at 2023 models, 2024 it costs $11,000 just for the car.
Used to be able to buy a car for that.
So again, it's all depends on what Chevy plans on doing too. Are they gonna do 11,000? Are they gonna do 15,000? Are they gonna do 5,000?
I don't know what the holdup is with strikes. I don't know if they took that vote yesterday or not. That could delay things too. As far as the UAW with the car manufacturers. Well, the number on the back sheet corresponds with the number on the front sheet, from what I gather. What I'd like to do, and anybody can ask any questions, what I'd like to do is I'd like to thank the staff of the sheriff's office, the sheriff included, for helping out with this. I want to thank you, our board, law enforcement board, and I don't know, page 16. Okay,
It's numbered.
Right?
There's 2 6s. It didn't come numbered, so I numbered them.
Oh,
and-
yeah, they help out here. It didn't come number.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Probably my fault.
But I think I hit the highlights, and then anybody can stop by and ask questions if you want to digest this real bit. Right, we tried.
You're looking at like a 7% increase for the total across the board.
That's the bottom line, yeah.
Evan, if you excuse me, I gotta get my wife to a.
Yep.
Doctor, I'm going to leave.
Thank you.
Hey, Lee,
You guys.
Aye.
Yes.
I know I asked you this before, you mentioned it before, but maybe somebody asked you in my radio thing next week again. Or once in a while, I get broadsided, but how old are our present weapons for the officers? Like we report that you get new ones.
What was the question?
How long have we those for?
How long the current ones?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, 5 years, I wanna say, cause it's the fifth year is when we needed the massive.
I heard about,
And I think we brought up the concept, yeah, an MOS, is that correct? The accuracy. I wasn't completely sold on it either, but they explained the accuracy. And they were at. Was it SWAT training or which training?
SWAT training,
It
we
was
have,
lights out as far as how accurate these guns are.
it is, it's amazing for that end of it, so when you're looking at officer safety, it's. When you see the trend in law enforcement, and one of the things that they're spending money on is guns and accuracy for officer safety is nationwide, I mean, it's.
and I think you explained that last time, how accurate they were.
then the old guns are up for total rebuild.
Correct.
So like you were saying last month, full rebuild and then look at it. New revolvers, I mean,
I'd have
cost
to,
difference, what's it?
I don't have those numbers with me, I presented that last month, I'd have to
Last month.
bring that up again, but it's. In my opinion, the right thing to do is to replace them.
It was, I agree with that.
And when we trade, we don't have to do anything.
Correct. That's-
We have to maintenance, so.
One more question for Captain Kaczynski. You mentioned that the hangups and mistiles are considerably down. I know we were at a ridiculous figure sometime early in the summer. What's this down from?
The cell phone manufacturers have released updates, so they couldn't call it quite as easy as they were before.
Okay, but number wise, it was a ridiculous number we were getting at one time this year.
And I believe it was 800 or 900 a month.
That's what it was. What?
Yeah, 9, it was 8, high 8s or 9s. I remember that.
That'd be ridiculous. Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Did we do a motion to accept the proposed budget as given to us by Carl, so I can move on to the other committee? Okay. Is there a second to the motion to accept the proposed budget? Rick, Rick made one,
I'll second that.
and Cindy seconded. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion regarding the 2024 proposed budget for law enforcement as presented? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any contrary, so moved. Very good, thank you, Carl. You people did a great job in your.
Carl thanks all of us, but we really thank Carl for this dedication. Making sure that all the money spent is appropriate. And when there's a need for more money, you can see that. It's a number that's accurate. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you. And I have to comment that at other committees that I'm on, I do mention the fact that the entire group here, your people, sheriff, actually, keep us very well informed on our monthly basis here. And that when something comes up, we've already been kind of prepared as to how things are going. So we're not being surprised on things at all. And a lot of it has to do with Carl, obviously, and the sheriff, but also the entire team here, all the captains. That I don't think we get that everywhere in all the different committees. But this committee in particular is very good at keeping us informed. And therefore, we're not surprised in things. So thank you. It was a very good budget. Can't imagine how work figured this out.
Yeah.
It's a large department on that. So let's move on to our medical examiner report.
All right, so in August, we had 48 total deaths, 44 were natural, 2 were accidental, and 2 suicides. We had 38 cremations filled out. That's that. And then my budget,
In your budget.
you should have me go first. Because I'm so quick. Yeah, that I feel, no. So my budget is really basically the same as last year. The only major change is $100 I took out of it. But all what I did was I switched some money around. There was a decrease of office supplies by 1,300. I put that money, 500 of it into increasing the training and 800 in increasing the contracted services. And the reason why I had to do that was because there's like a 10% increase in the lab charge where I send my blood work out for tax, and there was Fond du Lac also did like an 8% increase in autopsies, but I'm really not using them. I'm using UW Madison instead. So, and they haven't presented to me that there is going to be an increase. That's that.
So you're talking basically at 6%.
Yeah, the increase would just be for.
Salary.
And I did want to mention that over the next couple of months, I'm going to be looking at a way to get my deputies increase. Their hourly on-call hasn't increased since 2007. And their casework has not increased since basically the 1990s. So I'm looking at possible ways of doing that with like fee increases. And a possibility would be maybe charging for signing of death certificates. I didn't want to do that one time, but I think it would be a smart choice. It doesn't have to be a lot of money.
Chance of some revenue.
So that's it.
Any comments, questions for our medical examiner? Hearing none, we will entertain a motion to approve the 2024 proposed budget by the medical examiners department.
I'll make that motion.
The motion is a second to that.
Seconds.
Second to that. Any further discussion, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any contrary to that? So moved. Thank you. Good job. Any supervisory reports? Everything, we have our, couple of us are going to the, annual.
Let me go over it.
I don't think you and I are going to go. Where? To the WCA annual conference. So we'll see if we can bring anything back that we got for this place.
That's why.
On that.
They usually do.
Hearing none. Yes, Rick.
There was, it's a detailed system about, talking about the jailers getting the increase in protective status.
Right.
There was a webinar going on right now.
We mentioned that. They're aware you're talking about protective status.
Yes,
Yeah, we
Oh,
just
yeah.
talked about that for
Yeah.
the meeting actually. It's in our WCA
WCA
and
and
the magazine
Right, right.
and
jail's aware of it.
you're aware of it. and-
Okay. I wasn't here.
Yeah, they're
I know.
refining, what it really means. It's been
I guess.
unclouded, but I think there's more definition in that.
I guess what I said, I'm hoping somebody monitoring that or is involved with that. You want to get on that, right? What do you do?
So no
Is that
matter how
something
long
that-
you're out there, you can sit down.
What
time does it
start, Jen?
Experience.
I think it started.
Get your blood shades and how to-
Right, I think so.
I don't
have any information.
Pets, right in.
Yeah.
I know it's been talked about for years, it's the WCA level.
There's a new date of Tuesday, October 10th at 10 a.m.
That's the one.
That's what I heard you talking about, but thank you, Rick. for bringing it
I
up.
know. You know,
It's very important. I brought the magazine in
I
for
think
that.
that- So they called me.
And when Mandy's aware of it, it's got a lot to do with it also.
Just spoken. Thanks for telling us. Very, very important. It's so convoluted right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know what I would have.
It is
Two
Madison.
full.
What are you gonna say about that?
Good ideas, but not defined.
Fine.
Even for years at
And then
WCA.
they're hiring full time.
Good. I mean, that we should have that.
I
No,
think
we shouldn't have it.
Not for,
Columbia
Not for
County.
Stanford.
Full time.
oh, at least 10 years.
Yeah, another
Right.
Because that was,
But I
that
have-
had brought up constantly.
5 or 6
Chair.
steps.
Okay.
And WC's lobbyist for counties. And they got quite a, I say, leverage.
Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Got to move.
Is there a second to that? Cindy second to that, she's moving. And we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. As always, great job.
Thank you.
Good job, Jared.
Well,